What's up with the YouTube? It's your boy Pierre, and I'm back. I just want to remind everybody to make sure you like, comment, and also subscribe. Let's get into the next episode.
Recording.
Yo, yo.
Say something. Testing 1 2.
All right, bet. Okay. You ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. We're going to get straight into it. We got one of the best engineers in Houston sitting in my living room. What's going on, Ken?
What's up, P?
Man, so number one, let's get straight into it. Like, so you've been mixing music for a super long time, but just tell us how you got started. Like, I mean, when did you even get interested in music?
Um, to be honest, man, mixing wise, I've been mixing. Yeah.
All right, man. Damn. So mishap, but we back. So tell us how you got started. Like, when did you fall in love with music, or what did you fall in love with first? Just break it all the way down.
Starting off, man, my mom let me start playing in the band when I was in like 6th grade.
Mm.
So I started off, of course, when you all play the recorder, the weak ass clarinet thing. But that's when I started liking music. My brother was always like really big into like listening to music and stuff. So he used to DJ. I used to like see him do things like that when
Mhm.
I was in 6th, 5th grade. But like, yeah, I would say middle school is when I fell in love. But like engineering, that started all in college. Actually, I started producing first, and then I just used to like go to the studio with the homies. I'm like, oh, that's not like the producer only. Like that's there's another person who makes sure the sound's right. And I got into that. So that's like shit, 2009.
Damn. So I
Yeah.
mean, you've been doing it a long time at this point. So I would say, okay. So what do you prefer from produce? I mean, obviously we know you as an engineer. A lot of people know you as an engineer, but what do you personally actually like more?
I like
Producing,
engineering.
engineering. You like
I love engineering.
why? Because a lot of people, I feel like engineering. A lot of people. I mean, it's either you love it or hate it.
The reason why I love engineering is because engineers are almost like the damn quarterbacks of the room.
Mm.
And if an engineer is really groomed and know what he's doing, he's also the producer, to be honest, just to captivate the room, just to captivate everything runs smoothly. All plays are done smoothly. Like when I saw that's how the engineer works and, just how that can facilitate a great song from a shitty song or like just the whole process. That's what made me fall in love with that.
Huh. So okay. Because let me just get into one of my first questions, and they're not even first, but probably a very important question that was on my list. I mean, when it comes to this process of creating music and making songs, who is most important? Artist, producer, or engineer, or somebody else that I didn't mention?
If I'm being completely
100%
honest,
honest. We need 1,000% honest too.
if I'm being completely honest, and this is where you got to break the line between who's a producer and who's a beat maker.
Hmm.
I would say the producer is probably the most important, and I would say that because the producer can be the engineer, the writer, the art, like he can be everything,
Jack of all trades.
jack of all trades. But the producer, if I'm talking like an example of a producer, would be like your Pharrell's, Brian Michael Cox, Dr. Dre. Those dudes facilitate.
So like Jermaine Dupri,
Jermaine
like
Dupri,
people like
a go,
that.
a legend. Like those are
Like what is it? What was
producers.
it? Was it Rodney Jerkins, like Dark Child, like
Dark
people like
Child,
that?
man, a legend. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like those are who you need. The Metro Boomins now, like people who don't just send you beats; they want to create the full song, the
Give you
full
that
art.
that entire vibe.
Yeah, the entire vibe.
Huh. Man, it's
Yeah,
interesting because a lot of people, I think when they go back and play this, me included, I thought you were going to say engineer because I personally feel like engineers definitely control the sonics, but I see your point as well. Like if you got a true producer, then they are really like y'all basically kind of all curating it together.
yeah, man. The reason why I say that's important is because they're an over engineer is because there's a lot of not really good engineers. There's people who know how to quote unquote throw stuff into templates or you know at least hit record and not fuck it up or distort it. But then
Hmm.
even with that, man, there's some engineers who work in big studios and they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They're fucking up audio and recordings and stuff. So that's why I said the producer really matters because at the end of the day, a producer might hear like, "Hey, you're recording that too high," which I've seen before. Or
Damn. So like,
you know,
okay, so it's crazy because when you just making these points about an engineer, I couldn't help but think, damn, I fall into that category. I'm a like, I mean, it's something that I could do, but I'm like, damn. Said no presets. What if you make your own preset? Does it still count as mixing, or do you feel
no,
like
no, there's nothing wrong with presets. I think
you just
there's
don't want
just
somebody who, I guess, relies on them? That's not a true engineer to you.
yeah, bro. There's engineers who literally like can get by and just say, yo, I mixed into this template. Look, there's nothing wrong with templates. I use templates. All the best engineers use some kind of template, but it's are you using a template that's already pre-baked?
Yeah, are you like tweaking it? Like,
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Whereas like your seasoned vets and goats, they have presets that are more geared to their gain staging
to their
process.
sound and shit. Like, okay,
Yeah, like different reverb sends already set up, buses or VCAs, like that's how they work, but they interchange plugins on every song. They're not dependent on that same, you know.
Interesting. So I would say, man, so what's been your favorite track to engineer and why? Like, whether it was something, well, I guess you can give me a early on track and a late track, or if it's just that one track that kind of trumps all. But what's been your most favorite song to work on just thus far, or even project?
Oh, project. I could probably do project just because of just and that's just me for like if I'm just like engineering and like got to
For sure
put my hand to it. AJ McQueen just did a project and I've worked with him before in the past, but like hearing him where he's at now and then they let me like mix. I actually co-mixed with another engineer named Machi, and like that was sonically like how I envision working on projects and somebody seeking me for like the enhancement part of like, you know what I'm saying, like taking it to the next level.
Yeah, like bringing it to life fully.
And the only reason why I would say that was a really dope project is because like AJ's really dope. He's leveled up. His sonics is there. And just the people he works with, it's all like it's organic and you can feel it in the music. So like every music, it's rare when I mix a project and every song I pretty much like love and rock with. But even with like the imperfections and stuff, like I fuck with it. I really love it. And it's
dope.
Recent, but like
yeah, that's like
lot, bro.
a month ago, like maybe 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, yeah. I mean, he dropped about a month ago, but 2 weeks.
Yeah, because he's pretty consistent. I see his stuff all the time. How'd you come in contact with him? I mean, because he's also the guy who has well, I should say artist entrepreneur. He has his own water brand too.
Yeah, Hydra Hill. I met AJ back when I was first working at Barron as an engineer. He's always been in the studio. Oh no, actually I lied. AJ came to my house with my homies, Jaren and Doug, who's also with Reading with a Rapper. And I met him at my apartment, like on some random, like they just came over to kick it and hang out. And they told me about AJ. Then I started seeing him at the studio, and I like, oh, he really raps. Like this is some.
He taking it serious.
Like this is some substance. Like not even just take it serious. Like bro can really rap, and he got something to say, and it's not the same shit that we always get. So it was just cool. And then since then, that's like since 2016, 2015, 2016, and I've just known him since then. I've always paid attention to his movement. He definitely has the right mindset.
He got nice branding too. He's pretty consistent. Awesome. Like, what's your biggest pet peeve when working with artists in general? Maybe whether it's the communication, actually physically being in the studio. Like, what's your biggest pet peeve when it comes to working with other creatives, aka artists?
Man, if anything, it's two things, and I have to just say it's probably demoitis. When artists have extreme demoitis, I can't really
explain to us what do you consider to be demoitis?
If an artist works on a song with somebody else or themselves, they like how it sounds, they like the effects, the ideas, the mood, whatever it may be. When a professional mixes it or even masters it, whatever, they want it to sound exactly like that version they did, and it's like, no, bro, you're married to that because I don't know, like maybe you talk, I can't redo this, you know what I'm saying? Like demoitis, I
don't know if I can bring that feeling again.
Yeah, and demoitis is when you can't really get past like releasing or moving to the next step because
building.
It just hinders everything. It slows everything down. It's a waste of time, just being completely honest. But the second thing would probably like failure to properly prepare, for like songs, your session, things like that.
So like coming in without a verse, or
it's I just think I think for me, as somebody who's been doing it for so long, I've seen the individuals that make it and do really great. If you know how to freestyle and know how to create on the spot, granted, do that if that's there. But if you don't know how to and you're trying to throw everything on the wall and walk out of there with shit and trying to like get your engineer to do whatever. That's failure to properly be prepared. You know what I'm saying? That's
No, that's real. I think a lot of artists need to hear that. I mean, damn. Unfortunately, I think that's a lot of artists, but I also feel like that's kind of the, I don't want to say the fad when it comes to creating music, but everybody's like, damn, like, I saw Lil Wayne do it. I saw Jay-Z do it. So I'm finna walk in there and this is what it's gonna be. I'm gonna walk out, man. What you think about this shit? Fire? Like,
the thing
it's like a
is,
revolving door. Like,
every artist don't have Jay-Z, Lil Wayne budgets in the studio.
budget,
So
skill,
skill, you know what I'm saying?
shit.
And if you don't have the time, you're putting pressure on yourself. And when there's pressure on yourself,
Yeah.
you're not gonna produce the best. You know what I'm saying? And people like you say, oh, pressure make diamonds, but
Not for most people.
not for most. Yeah, like just
Unfortunately. Like, cause
yeah,
I feel like, cause like I feel like situations really do make you better, make you stronger. But most people, they kind of just fizzle out. So
yeah.
let me ask you this then: you've engineered, worked with a lot of in a lot of different capacities too, with a lot of
Mhm.
different artists. Over the last 10 years, have you ever like I guess worked with an artist and you like damn, like they got it, like you really could see something in them, and then they just quit?
Yeah, all the time, bro.
Do you feel like so
All the
like
time.
I've seen it happen to me? When I decide to shoot videos and stuff like that, I've seen quite a few people just give up. Like, man, does that make you feel like, damn, I wasted my time, or do you feel like it's just growing pains and comes with, learning? Because I mean, at the end of the day, if artist blows up, it helps you big time.
Right. It
But if they
does.
don't, it's like you're still gonna grind anyway. So it's like a pro and a con kind of thing.
I used to take it like not say waste of time. I used to take it as like, damn, like I put all my heart into this, my, sweat tears. But man, we can't really dictate time. We can't really dictate life and things will happen. So I got a lot of homies who are really dope. They can make music, but you know, maybe
Some people just don't click for them.
like life happens.
Yeah, man,
You
I think
know.
that's the biggest thing because I think it's been proven time and time again. If you put enough time into something, if you like actually like get better over time too, you'll usually like make it on some type of capacity. But it just really depends though. How do you feel about? I was having this debate with a friend the other day. I was telling him I think hip hop is probably the only lane in music that has like a true underground market where somebody could come in, be underground, and still technically make money. Do you feel like any other genres you can do the same thing? And I was also, I guess, to add on to that, one of my friends was like, "Oh, I want to make this pop song," and I was like, "Well, hey, I'm just be honest with you." I said, "You have to." I said, "You were making hip hop, no, making R&B. Now you want to make pop." I said, "R&B, hip hop is going to always be the way in to do anything else." I was like, "Pop doesn't have a underground lane, or
Mhm.
at least I don't think." But
Yeah.
we are just having this debate the other day. What are your
I've
thoughts
never
on that?
heard or seen of like a underground pop lane, but I mean, there's like EDM that has like that, but even that still is kind of like you
It's
can,
like it's not new, but it's
yeah,
like it. I don't know, like hip hop just has that weight, like
yeah,
because EDM has weight, but it's like unless you're like shit Marshmello or somebody like that,
yeah.
like people ain't really checking for it.
I think it's just to be honest, like hip, how I
Uh-huh.
would say
Let them know because
underground
they need to know this.
wise, yes, hip hop works. That's the easiest way to get in. That's like the way you can like, all right, cool, I got eyes on me. But then
Mm-hmm.
you can always make the switch or pivot and
Yeah,
do other shit. But outside of hip hop and EDM, I really don't think there's no other. Never heard of a country underground. That's just being independent or major at that point.
no, and that's literally what I was kind of breaking down to him. You basically like unknown, independent, or major. Like
Major,
that's
yeah.
it. I feel like the lane I want to say he mentioned maybe like I don't want to say like garage band, but I was like, okay, I can give you that one because
Hmm.
people will perform covers shit around Houston.
Bro,
I'm pretty sure we can go somewhere tonight and somebody's performing a cover and somebody's paying them for
yeah,
whatever the hell they're doing, like performing or tips or even just getting
bro.
that fee. Like people get it.
Yeah, like I've seen more of the like singers, like, they'll
Yeah,
go out and sing these shows at like bars and clubs and they're getting
like
paid.
singers or instrumentalists.
Mentalists, yeah,
Like yeah,
musicians,
them two. Yeah, like real
you
like
know what I'm saying?
a real musician.
Like real musicians, they don't need to make albums and stuff because they'll always have a job if they
It's a
know
skill.
they got the ear. And then
Yeah,
if you know how to read sheet music, and
man. I'm
that's
saying
a
it.
whole different ball game. Like
Literally,
I can't even read sheet music no
shit,
more.
me neither. I never could read it. I was FL Studio, and then I just okay, yeah, boom, we here now. So I would say, man, so okay, so working with the artist, let me see, like, what's been It's 2023, right? So over the last 10 years, not we can just go five because you had some big accomplishments. To you, what's been your biggest accomplishment just so
Oh
far, like on this journey that we living on right now?
shit, man, the Grammy nomination. Like,
And which project was that for again?
I did a mix for the homie Uncle Jumbo who does like children's music,
Mm-hmm.
and so it's on I want to mess up their name because it's like indirect. The story is really dope, but like it's called One Tribe or All One Tribe, yeah. And they make a bunch of different children music and they put it on one album. It was like a collective. So I got to mix one song that they, I guess, pulled it from,
Yeah.
and they loved them. They loved how it sounded. Uncle Jumbo was like, "It sounds great" when I mixed it for him. And a year later, like I find out that he hits me in an email or he hits me on IG. He's like, "Hey, don't forget, man. You can get your Grammy certification for bad good news." And I was like, "What?" And he was like, "Yeah, it's on like we got nominated for a Grammy."
Yeah, man.
Shit was wild.
How does that make you feel though? Because like, man, we got to be honest, and I sometimes I hate to be honest because I feel like artists can sometimes be delusional, and I say this, and I consider myself an artist, like
Yeah.
whether a rapper or whatever, I consider myself this too, but a lot of people won't get to accomplish that. So like, how does that make you feel knowing you was like, okay, like got a piece of the pie that you know what I'm saying, been working towards?
I mean, honestly, if you make music, regardless of how you feel about it, a Grammy nomination is a huge accomplishment. It's like throwing your penny in a fountain, and that's
Yeah,
the one
make a
penny that
wish.
somebody like pulls
Yeah,
out later. Like that shit's just like it was like a three from the parking lot. If you watch sports, you know what I'm saying. Like it was dope. And granted, a lot of people may not be like, oh, but it's not like Nicki Minaj or Drake or something, right? But
I mean,
there's
because
a lot of
you got
artists who
some people
don't
that
even
are
get
hate.
nominated.
No, literally, you got like some people will say, "Oh, but you didn't get the Grammy,"
Yeah.
and I feel like people like that. Because to me, I look at everything as like you building upon it. Like that's
Hmm.
really what life is about. It's about growing, learning, building,
Hmm.
and really just getting ready for that moment. I think a lot of the times people don't realize that you have to be prepared in order to achieve. So you got to learn the process, even when it comes to Grammys and the voting process.
Hmm.
Like I feel like most artists have no clue that people vote. Hell, my aunt votes, and it's a couple, not even a couple people in Houston. Shit, it's a lot of motherfuckers that vote, but I don't think people realize that every genre is voting on everything.
Yes,
So
bro.
so how do you feel like? Because like say the process. Like when you like a big album gets snubbed, or some people say, well, Cardi B has a Grammy over Nicki Minaj. Like, but people don't understand that it's literally people from country voting.
Bro.
Best folk album. Like it's a
Bro.
collective.
You gotta understand, and this is why, like, I don't say people to shun the Grammys or not, but you gotta understand. One, the music gotta sound acceptable, right? So whoever mixed it, whoever wrote it, everything has to sound right. Then again, to be nominated, it has to be listened amongst all these other albums, right?
Yeah.
So that just tells you you're in another echelon, right?
You playing with you in a different league.
And I was watching with you and TD, and I saw when y'all talking
Shout
about
out
Chris
to
Brown.
TD.
Shout out to TD, my guy.
He went in as he always does.
As he always does. But like he made this point, which I just had to come, like get the not record straight, but like Chris Brown has 20 Grammy nominations. How many has he won? He has won one.
Oh wow. It
Right?
sounds like a Nicki Minaj situation.
It sounds like the Nicki Minaj situation, but you gotta understand, Chris Brown being nominated for 20 Grammys and only winning one. Like he's complaining that he's only won one. Why would I not feel great that I got a nomination when a lot of people in this pool in this area, I can look around and I can touch so many artists here in Houston. I could tell you how many actually have a Grammy nomination. It ain't a lot. So
I mean,
I just like to make sure I let that be known. Like
you gotta let people
I'm happy
know.
about that shit, and I'm always stunt that shit because
You should
show me yours.
Yeah. Nah, and that's the way to do. I think it should motivate you, and it should also motivate everybody too. It's
Yeah,
like,
for
damn,
sure.
okay, like we getting it going, and okay, so switching gears for a second. There's been a hot topic on social media. Chloe Bailey, right?
No
Album
yes.
flopped. I personally like Chloe. She's
You
a
said
producer.
the album flopped?
That's what they saying. They saying
Damn.
10K. Now, I don't know if Billboard has reported this, but you already know how it goes when those projects come out. If the numbers ain't come, like if those projections really don't come out by midweek, the album usually, Jacquees flopped. Like people have
Yeah, I've
flopped.
heard that.
Honestly, who else flopped? Like I think artists, and maybe we should redefine what flopping is, right?
Hmm.
Because is 10,000 to me? Flopping is doing less than you expected
Yeah, right.
for yourself. Not really, because we got to be realistic. Like nobody finna come out sell $1 million in a week. Nobody's doing 500,000 unless you're
Those
a
days are
megastar.
over with unless you're like
And you got to be a
Drake, J.
super,
Cole.
super, super, and they might not even do it.
Yeah, and that'd
But
be over time.
yeah, literally over time. So like, a lot of people were basically complaining, saying that her singles haven't been hitting. I like Chloe and Halle. To me, I like R&B. I'm an R&B
Yeah, me.
connoisseur.
Yeah,
That's just what
that's
it
my
is.
favorite genre.
Unfortunately, do you feel like her albums flopped?
I haven't checked it out. For say me, in this moment, I haven't checked it out. Maybe next week I may have, but I just haven't. To be completely honest, I missed the drop, and that's the whole
I
thing.
think that's a problem.
Then that's my thing with music. I like to digest music, so I'll come back to that album down the line. But I've been jamming other stuff, and I didn't even know she dropped.
See,
So
that's
I haven't even jammed Daniel Caesar stuff, but it's on my phone because I know I want to jam.
Okay, so speaking on Daniel Caesar, then is he forgiven? It's been about it might have been about 5 years, but is he forgiven? Because they're saying they saying the album before was great too. But
Yeah.
just because I don't listen to him, but when Get You came out, I was jamming that much, so I'm very aware of him.
I'm gonna be honestly, if you haven't jammed it, you haven't jammed his last album, right?
Not the last one, only jammed the first one.
You should. That shit jams. I'm just gonna let you know. And I'm pretty sure this one jams. I've gotten some really good.
That's what they're saying.
But is he forgiven?
Is he forgiven?
He's fake forgiven.
Will the industry allow him to go to that number one spot?
I don't think he's gonna. I mean, that's on us as fans. But publicly, are we still casting stones on him, or are we going to just embrace that maybe he has changed and we got to give him a chance?
Or maybe just growing up in Canada, he really just wasn't aware.
To be completely honest, I think it's fake. You know what I'm saying? I think
fake buzz.
I think it's fake forgiven. Right now,
yeah,
people are gonna forget that he did anything like that. As long as he's consistently dropping really dope music. I mean, at this point, he hasn't been in the media doing anything stupid, has he?
I feel like he hasn't been in the media since then. I said, that's 4 or 5 years ago.
Right. And he's not worried about that shit no more. He's probably grown from that. And to be honest, he's probably staying away from media so he doesn't have that situation happen again. And is he giving us dope music? From what I've heard from his last album and the 2 songs I've heard on this album, yeah, I think my guy is just like, man, let me just make music. Fuck y'all hearing my opinions and then me having to eat my words later.
I mean, that's what it seems like. Do you think sometimes artists, or I mean, not even artists, just people in general, like, are they putting their foots in their mouth? Because I personally think he, when he first came out into the scene, he's projected to be pretty big.
Yeah, he's likable.
And I mean, he did the Peaches song, which was a big song, Justin Bieber. But I think it kind of not derailed his career, but he cut off it's like a pinnacle that he could have hit that I don't know if I could see him hitting, only because, not because of talent, but just because it's just more artists coming out every single day. So it kind of he's old. It's crazy because I'm pretty sure I'm older than him.
Yeah.
But he's considered old now in music world.
Yeah.
But when he came out, it was bangers. Can people? Because we being real, even that Chris Brown thing, right? We know why he didn't win. We know why he doesn't win.
Yeah, of course. That's what I'm saying.
He should have all 20 Grammys. Or I would say at least 10 or 15.
If we're being completely honest, to be honest, what did Daniel Caesar actually do? Because that's me personally. I don't really try to keep up with too much.
Yeah. Okay. What he did,
and I know it was something to do saying something.
He I don't want to say minimize It's not. I don't want to say it's not the police. You know what I'm saying? Let's look it up. I don't think it was the police per se. He basically kind of minimized things that black people go through in America.
Okay.
And then he mentioned.
So who did he just lose right there?
Who did core audience? The people that look like him.
The people that look like him. That's exactly why his music probably won't go there. Right?
Is that I mean, I'm not saying it's a good thing, but or a bad thing. Is that messed up? Is it messed up that artists, that people, well, we're going to just speak on people in music, entertainers. Is it messed up? Even independent people, right? It's people around Houston that can't come back.
Yeah. Right.
For different things that has been blasted. Is it messed up that people don't always get a second shot?
It's messed up because shit, we're not the 5 year gap is two different human beings, and it's
Mm.
unfortunate, but like shit, we all fuck up in different manners. And then granted, even saying stuff wrong or not knowing how to project and say things
Yeah.
may come back to bite you, and that's just the cards you're dealt at that point, unfortunately. But shit, did your mom forgive you when you did something wrong?
Yeah, when she told you not to touch that stove.
Right, and then she still love
Yeah,
you. And I
or
feel like
not
that's
to steal those Yu-Gi-Oh cards out of Walmart.
right. Hey, sorry
I
for the
think everybody
Pokemon
did that at
cards,
least
mom,
once.
because I stole Pokemon cards before and I
Yo,
never did it again.
I
But
mean, it's really messed up, you know what I'm saying? But I guess that is society. But let me ask you this, right? So the importance of social media, right? Because I remember a time, now this might have been about a year and a half ago, you got hacked, right? And
mhm,
you had to literally rebuild your social media. And it's like when that happens, are you like, fuck, I don't have my clientele no more? Because social media is the main way it's direct to consumer.
yeah.
So how important do you feel like social media is to getting anything done at this point?
Social media is two ways because my last account is like it was like almost like to 5K. That's not a lot to people, but that was
That's
5K
a
from
lot.
when I first started. And
Yeah.
these are like organically made. But one thing I learned about social media over time, and when I got hacked, it was almost like a reset that I needed and a blessing in disguise, because there'll be people who follow or be around just to see
Hmm.
if you around. You get
Make
what I'm
it for
saying?
real.
And they're around to see. A lot of people knew I had my shit hacked, and a lot of people hit me back immediately and followed through. The one thing that I think social media is really great for sure, is just your network, right? But you got to build relationships with your network. You might do something really dope in the time, and then
Yeah.
somebody will follow you, right? But are you still doing dope things for them
We're
to keep
still
them around?
engaging with them. Yeah.
Right. And one thing I noticed is that this shit is all fabricated numbers, because that I did have 5K.
Hmm.
That's 5K from people in college, high school, and shit, and that I don't even fuck with no more, just to be completely honest.
No
They
disrespect to them though. We
No
just
disrespect
saying.
to them, but we've probably grown apart. We probably
Yeah.
weren't even
Life
that
happens.
cool. We probably just seen each other on campus or in high school or on the streets and something. We hit follow and we da da da. But do they really rock with me? It's half and half. It's
Hmm.
whatever. And the one thing I do know that for me at least was that, like, I built relationships off of the social media from just promoting other people, tapping in on with people, having great conversations with people on like music, whatever in that manner. And like those people still know me off the
Hmm.
social media too. And it's like, some people get checks and they don't want to follow you back, but guess what? They still
Shit, people
DM you.
buying checks now, so it's
Yeah, and
like
this shit doesn't matter,
it
bro.
don't even
Like
matter.
to
Like literally, that just got like dispelled. Like now, I mean, people probably did. They thought it mattered, but now, like
yeah,
it's literally like we 14.99 or whatever it is, and
bro,
have this check.
14.99 a month. It's
So
like some
damn, it's
pack of
crazy.
plugins.
You were saying that sometimes people get a blue check and won't follow back or something like that, or people that you actually know. Do you feel like social media, like, do you feel like one of the negative aspects of social media is that it causes people's head to get extremely
Yes,
big? Because I
bro.
think it's
It's a terrible thing sometimes, bro, because like that shit doesn't matter. It's
mhm.
people that won't follow you, but they'll see you. That they have to do that because they've heard, hey man, keep your numbers low. You don't want to keep following people.
Yeah, like
Like
this fugazi facade.
it's a facade, bro. All that shit is a facade. Like that's why I don't pay attention to it, because half the time you see somebody in public, if you have good relationships with people and you still touch hands and meet people, like, yo, some people really don't get on social media like that. So they don't be thinking like, oh, let me go follow whoop de whoop so I can
It's better. I
see.
feel like as long as you got somebody's number,
Yeah, like we
like
gotta we gotta
that
get out
text
that aspect of like thinking,
relying.
yeah,
Yeah.
like somebody gotta follow you to say they fuck with you. Like that shit doesn't.
And I ain't gonna lie. If some people not following me, I'm gonna be offended.
Yeah, I
If it's
mean,
somebody that like I know we supposed to be cool. I'm like, hey, bro.
but it's cool onto a different level when they're like tapped in and they wanna they you. It's just like an unspoken thing. But if
Yeah.
it's like, if you know the energy not even there, like real legit energy, why does it matter if they follow you or not? You might be talking shit about that person. You just, man, he followed me, bro. He's a producer. What do you like? I don't really fuck with him, but he followed me. Like I've heard that shit,
I
and
mean,
I'm
some
just
people
like,
follow
that's
each
whack.
other and don't even respond back. So
Yes, bro.
you can still follow. I mean, it could still be an L. Like, what do you feel like is the best social media platform to promote music right now?
to promote
Yeah,
music.
to get a song to the widest, to the biggest audience right
If
now.
you got the machine going, TikTok for sure. Only because you can take that song, if it's 3 minutes, you can chop that shit up 10, 15-second clips and promote that shit for 2 weeks straight. Do it again, different material. And people will finally catch on and be like, and that's the one site or the one social media app that like it literally generates from people from TikTok going to Spotify or something.
Yeah, like I
So
mean, the way even just the way it's set up, it's crazy. I also think if put women in your TikToks, it might go viral. Like none every time I hop on TikTok, technology, women, music, and then some random like super random throwback videos.
we gotta
They have a
remember
great
who's
algorithm though.
we gotta remember who's using these apps. There's only two genders. Well, unless you want to go crazy, there's only two real genders.
We got an other section
Other
too.
section, okay. But like, look, male, female,
Yeah.
binary, other. You call me what I want to be called. You got it right. But more than likely, if you put a woman in a video, or she's like not even being sexual, just in the video,
She's just looking attractive.
looking attractive, more than likely, both genders are gonna hit.
It's crazy that you say that both, because that's like
Yeah.
a lot of people make it like it's one or the other, but it really is like I think the world appreciates. It's like, oh, okay, she cool. Like,
Mhm.
man,
Why do you think they have women in music videos, bro? Like, this is
man, do you feel like so what's more important than at this point, like a music video, or a music video is dead? I had an artist tell me that.
music videos are kind of dead.
Wow. So what's taking place of the music video?
I wouldn't say that they're dead in just full aspect of like go every song needs a music video, because right now, um, your music still is like a side product thing to me. Like it's
Hmm.
like placement, right? It's supposed to be in the background, but with social media now we can make short videos and post them on TikTok and IG, and you can play a song and you may have said something really dope and make a video that corresponds to that right there off your phone. At this point, does somebody really need a video for every song? You may not even be able to paint a picture of every song you pretty much made. And
Yeah.
videos got to stand out now because it's so easy for people to make a video now. So how many videos of people toting guns at the camera do I want to see? I want to see some art.
Yeah, you want to
You know
see
what I'm
some?
saying?
Yeah, I feel like Lil Yachty is a great example of somebody who's been
Yeah,
pushing
the
the
art.
art
Yeah,
like within the videos right now. I think TikToks or short form visual content is like to me the modern music video.
yeah,
And short form in any kind of way where you're shooting with a, of course, if you use a camera like we got, you can get a better version. But even
right.
if it's coming off an iPhone, it's still just extremely popular at this point. Do you feel like, man? So let's see. You work with a lot of artists, right? From people who have a buzz, people getting Grammy nods, to people just starting out, right? So what's like the main thing? Like, is there a characteristic that maybe you've seen from like artists who have talent, but they just like stop, whether it's within a year or two, whenever? Is there like a certain characteristic you feel like they have, or you feel like
Mm,
people just quit? Like, cause I noticed, I feel like it's just like dropping. It's just like starting a business, right? Within that first probably 3 years, if it don't work out, most people, I ain't really messing with this.
I mean, honestly, you gotta see it. It's just like anything that we start, like you want out of it, right? When we go through school, or you're trying to work a job and you're trying to move up the chain. You just gotta see people through, right through the process. And a lot of people want in this age, this new millennium,
Microwave.
everybody want it so fast that they don't want to take the time to build, right? And just as fast as you get there, it can be as fast as you fall off. So to me, it's like I can't really see that from a person
Mm.
unless I'm around them for a while, and then I can see maybe if after a couple years you're in the same spot, then that's something different. I can understand you falling off. But most people, if you do it consistently and you see it through, you see the growth, the ascension of it, and then you can kind of see. So I've been around it. The only thing you got to see is just like seeing how they go through the
See
years.
that consistency.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this: was there? You don't have to name any artists, but man, let's talk about that one studio session you had, and like, I'm sure you like probably like, man, this shit sucks. or this person is definitely not gonna be rapping next week. But they surprised you and they still got it, and you know what I'm saying, they're actually making like progress. Like, what's that been like? Because you see artists who just quit, and then you see some people like, okay, like I ain't really see it at first, but I'm like, okay, like
I've seen a
you doing a
few of
little
that.
something something like. What's that like? Because that's kind of the opposite. We they always talk about, oh, artists quitting, but what about the artists that surprise you and actually like, okay, like
I've seen
you
that
kind of
before.
cool, like your stuff solid.
I've seen that before. Like in terms of just like starting out was kind of like, oh, I don't know if this is gonna work to like where they're at. Um, I've seen it. I don't want to throw no names out there.
Cause it's a lot of art. I mean, it's a lot of artists everywhere, but in
Yeah,
Houston, it's a lot of dope artists though. A lot
yeah.
of
Now this city is full of extreme talent. I think we just lack fucking infrastructure.
yeah, cause I feel like artists, like man, I tweeted this the other day, or matter of fact, me and TD were having this debate. I'm like, man, I don't feel like most artists need to be in control.
Oh yeah, I seen that.
And like
That was a
I
good.
but he really feels like they should be in control. But I'm just like, man, I think in this day and age, like I feel like a true entrepreneur can be in control.
Mhm,
Because being an artist has been an entrepreneur. I don't think a lot of artists actually realize that.
mhm.
But it's like if you're business minded, I think you can do it. But a lot of artists, I ain't gonna say they don't care about the business. Maybe they just haven't learned about it yet. But
So
they
what is
kind of
they what? And this is something like my homeboy Stoppa made me think about the past couple years. Shout out my dog, man. That's like somebody I know who's an artist but understands I need to go through the rigor of being an
hmm
artist and then being like management for myself where he's not making music actively. He's learning about the stuff on the back end. How can an artist want to manage or control, like this word control? I want to control everything. Most artists only know about the surface level stuff, which is like, oh, I need
yo,
a
you
BMI,
speaking to somebody, you gotta stop.
a ASCAP, and
Man, I don't even. I think some artists don't even realize that. Now,
yeah,
now, granted, those two things you can get some leeway. If the song ain't got no motion, you ain't really missing out. But it's still important to, like you said. You said like a lot of artists surface, right?
hmm
Why do you feel it's like that? Because I feel like a lot, like I guess our generation, right? I feel like naturally you learned about something. You just did it too, but you also learned about it. I feel like artists really don't. Some artists really don't care about learning about what's going on. They just want to create.
that's because the entryway to doing this stuff has pretty much where
Got
it was.
deleted.
Yeah, it's where it's like it was steps to get there. Now it's like, right here in front of you, like 3 steps, and you can say, "I'm an artist. I'm
You
making."
got. I literally watched the interview yesterday, and they were like, "Yeah, so Instagram influencer. What do you consider yourself? IG model?" She was like, "I'm an artist. I'm an artist." She got about 5 songs out, but I was just like, "Damn, like I guess that is what it is at this
At
point."
this
Like,
point, right? So
which is good and bad, right?
it's yeah, because like I said, the entry level. So that's why I'm like it's like back in the day, if you said you did music and you were like putting your music out
It was a
on
big deal.
yeah, it was a big deal to get your shit on
It wasn't even that.
fucking
It was people that
Spotify,
rapped in
Apple.
high school, but like it wasn't like it was only about a couple serious rappers, like
Right,
like people that
bro.
really had songs, studio, like
Back then, if you say you were doing this, you had to figure it out without DistroKid. There was no streaming service. There was none of
could
that.
not get on iTunes and
Yeah.
Spotify. Spotify wasn't even here yet.
So you didn't. So the step you skipped was like the actual grind
Mhm.
of going out to get CDs pressed and going to go hand it to
Even
people
passing out
and
stickers,
stickers. Like a lot of people miss that with
passing out
social.
posters, and people throwing them on the ground. I had a homie. He still raps to this day.
hmm
Never forget he was at U of H doing it. He was doing it, and people just like, he's like, man,
yeah,
throwing
bro.
down my poster. I'm like, hey, bro, that's how people are in today. See people liking it.
hmm
Do you feel like that's because it's pro and a con of that, right? So the barrier of entry has got super low. Now you got a lot more people who've been able to come up.
hmm
The quality is like probably dipped,
Yes.
but do you feel like that's overall positive that people can kind of get in the game much quicker, or do you think it's more of a negative thing?
I think it depends on how you look at it. Are you again? We're talking about people 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years into it.
Mm-hmm.
Are you really trying to make this a business for yourself? Are you trying to get money? Are you trying to make
Trying to be IG popping?
financial stability, or are you trying to be IG famous? Because at that point, then you understand whether um these the entryway, because with the easier entryway means more competition. The everybody can't like this whole thing we just talked about Chloe. I haven't jammed her album, but there's so many albums that drop now on
I think
Friday.
that was a lot of people's
Like,
main gripe for why she actually flopped.
yeah.
Not getting back to Chloe. Some people say, "Oh, Beyonce didn't promote it enough."
Why does Beyonce have to
See,
promote
in
her
that's
album?
I was talking to an artist yesterday, and he said
What
that.
the fuck, bro?
He said, "Hey, bro, I'm not posting my artist if they not doing it right. I'm not posting it either." I don't think she's liable for posting it, but man, like, okay, there's a stigma, right? Just what's your perspective on it? They say, "Oh, don't sign to another artist." I don't think it matters,
I
but
don't
a
think
lot
that.
of people feel like that's the worst thing to do.
No, look at Young Dolph with his, Key
Key Glock's
Glock,
still going.
and Key Glock's still going because that's a dude that who knew control. I bet you, if Dolph was still around, he could probably tell another artist, not just past ASCAP BMI, he could tell them the game of like being an artist, and he can be like, bro, fuck social media. That's the least of your worry. You still got to get out here, shake hands, perform, meet people, do all this. Like nobody's doing that. So to me, honestly, signing to another, it depends who you sign to, but like somebody like Dolph and J. Cole's and people who know the business and respect the art, it's a
I
win. I
think
mean,
that's a
shit,
big
even
thing.
Gucci, like
Yeah,
people talk about Gucci, but I think Gucci as a trap artist,
he's
he
given a
give it to
lot of
him.
opportunities.
He's given a lot of opportunities, but look at the artists he signs. They probably don't give a fuck about learning the business,
He's
no
basically
matter how
signing
big
crash
they get.
dummies.
Yes, it doesn't matter. There's a few that probably get it. Like I'm pretty sure,
I'm
like
not gonna lie, I don't think none of them
Enchant.
get it. No,
No,
and she
Enchanted.
don't. I mean,
No, I think she.
she from the DF Dub, so she don't count.
Okay,
Oh,
see,
the only reason she don't count though is because prior to being signed with Gucci, she's managed by DJ Duffy for
oh, see, I
several
didn't know
years.
that. That's
So
see,
she's had
she
time
knows.
to, you know what I'm saying? Like,
She
and
gets
that's why I
it.
would say she don't count. I look at everybody else that he signed.
Yeah, it
I
don't make
mean,
sense.
look, I'm not saying I'm mad that Pushaxi's locked up, but I think it is probably I ain't never seen it. I never seen like we seen Sean go to jail,
Mm-hmm.
but we ain't never like seen these type of situations where somebody goes to the feds. Matter of fact, probably other than Shine,
Yeah.
it probably is only him and Pushaski. We seen people go
Well,
away for like a year, but like right when you're hot,
yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
like boom, like can you come back from that in 2023?
Shit.
We saw Bobby Smurdy. Bobby Smurder. We saw Bobby Smurder, and I'm not gonna lie, it has not connected. Now I don't know if he's tried. He only had like maybe 2 songs, but it did not connect. Like, do you
I don't.
think that can the
For
artist
Pu-
come back like that?
I think it
After at
depends
least
on the
5 years
artist.
off?
I think it depends on the artist because Pooh Shiesty, I don't know because he was running up and he was on a hot streak, but like off of the one song, or was it?
It's
I
crazy.
didn't really jam Pooh like.
Perfect, man. Shout out to Center Point. Okay, so man, I think okay, so Pusheisty had Back in Blood is number 1, but he want to say he had about 2 to 4 like underground hits that I got some buddies out there just on that side of town in Memphis, on that side of the world in Memphis that were listening to all the underground songs. Do you feel like, I mean, personally, I think it's the trap music, man. I think the problem is, and I don't want to say, I don't know if it's a problem or not, because it's a lot of trap songs I like. Some days I'll still go play like that, what's that, I can't even, Yo Gotti's, Young Dolph, Yo Gotti diss.
Oh,
I'll play both of them actually.
Goddamn.
Like when I'm really like they good songs. I mean,
Yeah.
Gotti got good songs too, but that's to me that's quality trap music.
no, that's.
But I think trap music as a whole is, man, it's too simple to do. Like I think to me trap music is okay. The trap beat for sure. 808's knocking, but like just the trap content, I feel like that type of music doesn't really require effort.
It doesn't require effort, and to be honest, if anybody's tapped in higher than themselves, a lot of that stuff is the sonics throw your whole mood off, right?
That's what they say.
So I mean,
You think it's true? So you think if
yeah,
you're
I
listening
mean,
to that
a lot of
that trap, you're gonna go out there and
a lot of trap music is made in minor chords, right? So it's supposed to
Mm.
be sad, a little have you down a little bit, and then you gotta see when you get into the whole 440 hertz, 432.
So you feel like all of these frequencies and stuff like that really do have an effect on not only the way people feel, but just like you feel like the sonics, even beyond music, do something to people.
Yeah, for sure. Think about it. I mean, you jump up and down when you hear like, well, at a concert, when you feel bass hit your chest, that's the moment you like, you know,
Yo,
everybody, it feels like you're getting pushed down on. And I mean, bass frequencies do
damn.
that. And just to be on that tip is just like minor chords are supposed to make you feel like that. Like you're listening to a lot of darker, downing things, whether as like Because I'm Happy by Pharrell, that is a major chord song that these are all
Uplifts
happy
you,
chords. It's uplifting and like
man.
that's what's supposed to make you feel. And like
Yeah,
it's frequencies, bro. Like at the
that's an
end of the
interesting
day.
perspective. I don't think artists, hell, I don't think people listen to music, including myself. I don't listen to music and think that. You know what I'm saying? But
So you
I
like
don't,
Uzi?
or he got songs I like. Like, not that I don't think it, but it's like you do it and you don't know that, like you just, like, I'm not saying, like, oh, I'm gonna listen to this trap song and it's
Make
just like, I'm gonna just jam it out and, and I'm not gonna lie. I play the same song. I'm the type of, man, I play the same song like 20 times in a row. I'm in there in that back room and once like that new Tizo touchdown familiarity,
Oh yeah.
I had them all repeats since last Friday, man. Just, I was
Nah,
like,
Tizo's
damn, like,
hard,
shit,
bro.
when I was like 16 or 17, I'm like, wait a minute, like, this how I was feeling. Like, I gotta go
Yeah.
get this money, pops. Like,
Yeah. That's why I kind of like this Larry June and the Alchemist, because
a
it's
lot
like
of people have been speaking on that project. I mean, what do you like about it? Like, a lot of people said it's one of his best, and it made him go play other stuff. What do you like about that project? But it just came out too, but what do
the
you like
reason
about
why
it?
I like it is because it's if you listen to the Alchemist, his shit is all loops. He's a original
OG producer.
producer, right? He's still chopping his beats and shit. And to add somebody like Larry June, who talks about getting money, being a better person,
Progressing.
progressing,
When you
like
say drink more orange juice?
drink more oranges, be healthy, bro.
Yeah.
Like don't be a hater. Like get your bread up. Go take a girl out for a date.
Go
Like
live your
actually
life for real.
get your life right. And like it feel good. I don't hear none of that. I don't know, like that music make me want to get up and go get it. And you hear that from frequencies and sonics. And then once those are attached to your mind and you're listening, you hear the words. And it just I don't know, I think Larry just kind of find that happy medium of being his cool self, but like putting some game out there, and people gonna be, oh, he don't be saying shit. But I'm like,
Bro, that's literally
Y'all jam Dom Kennedy, and not to slight Dom Kennedy, but what do he be rapping about?
it's funny you say that, right?
Lamar
Because to
Park
me they the
Legend,
same.
like
Like,
it's the same, bro.
but it's crazy because people got introduced to Dom Kennedy first, right?
Right.
But when you go back and dig into Larry June's catalog, he got stuff out like 2010, 20, or maybe even '09. Like
Bro.
his first video when he was still like slim.
Yes, bro.
Like, so he's been putting in that work too. How do you feel about that comparison that people are always making? Those are the first two people get compared: Dom Kennedy, Larry June, or they say Larry June is the new Dom.
I
Like,
don't
what do
like
you
to
feel like
say,
about that?
I don't like to say that he like there's this whole new Dom thing. I think he just found something that he liked doing, which is giving motivational rap, but in the coolest, most
Laid
laid
back.
back, popping my shit way. And like I think we need. I'm saying we need that, but this nigga was making songs like "Fucked Up My Leg" that was like a party joint. Like y'all don't understand. This man really figured it out as he was making more and more shit. And like I just don't know. Like I'm not to slight Dom Kennedy, but it's like Dom made all this music and he had nothing else to say.
I
Whereas
think that's
Larry,
exactly what happened though.
and then
Like,
Larry like taking like, oh, I got stuff to say. I'm just gonna give
pick it
people,
up.
like throw these gems back. Like this is what I
Man, that's
learned.
crazy because a lot of people, I mean, like, Get Home Safely was a big deal. I think that's when Dom is, I don't want to say hit his peak, but because a lot of people might say Double Up is his peak, right? Because
Mhm.
Nipsey and everybody was on the song, and Belly was on the song as well.
That's one of my
But
favorites.
Get Home Safely was like
That was
this one
that's
Dom was
solid.
that it's like, I'm all the way here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm all the way here.
But how do you hit? How do you make Yellow Album, Get Home Safely, and then just hit this mass decline? Like that's
Do you feel like
from
he got lazy, or do you feel like he maybe uninspired? Because he gives me that type of. He gives me like, man, I'll rap if I feel like it vibes. Like, because you could just tell by the like he had a chance to sign with MMG like way back, and
right
he
there.
didn't want to do it, right? So I think it kind of showed, or maybe not that he didn't want to do it, maybe it wasn't right, but I think it showed where he was at with it. Like, are you willing to be? And you could say the same thing
Control
about
your
Nas
destiny,
too.
right?
Yeah, because the same thing can be said about Nas when I think what he had to deal with like Steve Rifkin or it might have been dude from United Masters where he could have Steve Stout,
See, style, yeah.
where he could have gotten to more of that Jay-Z bag on some marketing dollars and stuff like that, and he chose to do something different too. Like, is it a problem when artists choose to?
It's not a.
Is it a problem when artists don't
We,
capitalize?
we talked about control earlier, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's why artists don't need to control all their shit. Because maybe they were listening to themselves and thinking like, yeah, I got it. I know, I understand this
I know
and
what's
that.
best for me.
I know what's
So
best for me, and you gotta deal with the cards you were dealt.
I mean, the
Like,
same thing kind of happened to Corday, right? I was watching, I think it was Uninterrupted last week, and anytime stuff about when artists talk, I send it to all the artists I know. I just want to see what they think, and he was basically saying like 6 months into his career of being blown up, he had the chance to get on a Maroon 5 song.
mm-hmm.
He turned down the song because he thought people would call him a sellout. Me personally, I heard that and I was like, bro, Maroon 5,
I love
the song,
Maroon Five.
and
What the
YG, and
fuck?
like literally, like it was to me that was like a dumb decision. Do you feel like is that even a thing? Like you come into the game, you blow up. Oh, like you're selling out, or do you think artists are just once again in here?
You watch Wu Tang?
Man, that's the one show I haven't dug into that my cousin is always telling me to watch.
Man, the Wu Tang.
And it's getting ready to end soon.
You need to binge that shit because that shit gonna show you so much shit people do to themselves. Not to spoil it for anybody, but ODB
I
was
heard he was sabotaging, not
he's
sabotage, but yeah, I heard he was sabotaging. He sabotaged his own career.
he was in his own head, and I don't like I said just not to spoil it. It's gonna be a part in the show where
I mean, it's a real occurrence too, so you're not really
he
spoiling it.
gets a moment to do a big song with somebody we fucking know, Mariah Carey, bro. And he was telling his manager, or at that time him, nah, that's not gonna be a good look. What? When Method Man made a song with fucking Mary J. Blige in the same field, and that song went fucking platinum for him. He shows you, like, it's crazy, bro.
So
Like,
every music person needs to watch that. Period.
yeah, man. If you fucking do music, and I'm a Wu Tang fan, so I'm a big Ghostface, Method Man, RZA. Like, I fuck with all of them.
Raekwon, all of them.
All of them, bro. My half family was from Queens, so when I was younger, I used to go out there, and they were my older cousins. So I was hearing like all the shit I'm not supposed to be hearing.
Yeah, I mean, because all this is like going super dummy out there. It's crazy because in that song too, with what is that, like that fantasy remix, or forgot what the Mariah song, but I want to say that's still like one of the biggest songs today,
right?
like in 2023.
Imagine,
Like lucky I can't think of the name of that song, but it's on YouTube. Mariah Carey ODB. It's still like it's still a big
imagine
song.
he didn't do that song. Imagine Method Man never did the "You're All I Need to Get By." Da, 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 da. Like, imagine he never do that. Them were the songs that basically had them on tour buses. Them were the songs that they were touring off of. Granted, they were listening, like, if you're an underground fan, you were listening to the group, but those were like the main headline shit. It's crazy. Like that show shows you like a lot of just artist shit. Like, if you pay attention to it,
Show people what they should do and also what they shouldn't do.
what they shouldn't do, and also if you want to be in control and make your own decisions, it might be the decision that makes you fall off. I think, going back to it, I think when Dom didn't sign the MMG.
So you think damn, so
Are you crazy?
I mean, it's
that's
it's hard to
crazy,
say,
bro.
right? Because like
The hell.
it's hard to say, but if we going where he is now, it can definitely be said because what if what it might have been, because Dom Kennedy, I mean, Larry June has really picked up where a lot of people will say Dom Kennedy left off, but one of the things I noticed Larry June and a lot of successful artists is the consistency. How do you feel about, and I tell artists this all the time, I said, man, or I tell the women too, I said, hey, if something's working, you keep doing it.
Yes.
But artists will do the opposite
Yes.
time and time again. I'm talking about will fully like reinvent themselves or say, no, I want to try this.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, man, let's just do this and like get it going a little bit more. And once you have people's attention a little bit more, you can try different stuff, but you have to disguise it in a way that you're not losing.
Most of the artists who make these decisions and try to do all this, a lot of them haven't even been doing music for 5 years. A lot of people who like, I want to try something else, haven't consistently dropped music for 5 years. they may have dropped one song every now and
I
then,
mean,
but
drop. That's a like drop like that right there.
dropping songs like
Drop, putting stuff out, putting
Larry
content out.
June has been putting out music since goddamn 2011, 2012. He's
Doing
been on
videos back when
doing
videos were even
a
when you literally
thing.
had to
See,
find somebody with a cannon and hope they shot you.
he took the currency route.
He did.
He said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna just keep dropping music, but on the side, I'm gonna be keep making my brand a thing, and drink orange juice. Uh, hey, like he turned that into his brand, bro. Like everything, that's his lifestyle. I think that's where Dom felt he didn't do. If Dom did that with his brand, he was really simply off of music.
To be fair, OPM, which was inspired
I
by a
love
movie,
them.
he Dom has in terms of where Larry didn't go. Well, maybe he hasn't went there yet. It's hard to say if he's gonna do it. Dom has signed artists like
One of
what
my
is it?
favorite artists was
Is
on
it
OPM.
IDK or JIDK or J305?
J305,
There you go.
Polyester the Saint. That's one of my favorite artists and producers ever. That motherfucker is a legend. But when that disconnect happened, I think that's when the music kind of like.
Yeah, I feel like because music is also something where you gotta be extremely current.
Current, yeah, bro.
You gotta consistently be current, like especially with new stuff just coming out all the time. Like, damn, so it's crazy because when you think currency, I think of like, to me, Wiz is another good example of that. Like
man.
working with Rodstrom and like the Cushion OJ, and eventually taking a deal with Atlantic, which propels him to superstar status. But also like they had done so much with just Wiz and Rodstrom, like he was moving already.
He knew
and he could have went this way, like I'm an independent rapper, and maybe he still would have turned out great. But he took the deal or they partnered, and it sent them all the way out through the roof, to the moon.
And this is why I think him and Currency are like best friends forever. I'm pretty sure Currency gave him the game from Currency being in Cash Money.
He's with No Limit too.
And No Limit. Like
he's had a few deals. Yeah, two situations before he got to
the
version we know him as now.
And that's what the thing people don't understand is like, yo, Currency probably gave him the game and was like ahead of time. Currency was in the room with labels and things like that. He probably heard how shit was changing, how albums aren't going to be the thing. People are not going to have the budgets. Digital is coming. I can make an album right here. You know what I'm saying?
You got BandLab?
Like, what? BandLab? Come on now. Like, if I can just make music and all I got to do is just drop that shit and for free, oh, they're making live mixtapes, that piff. I ain't got to go to the label. I can just upload my shit off the internet. Bet. Let me figure that out, and then I can cut out all this other shit, make a bunch of music when I want to. See, that's the thing. Artists don't make music. Y'all sit and want to make one song.
All right. So, man, I got a question. When it comes to how important do you feel like collaboration is for artists when it comes to releasing and distributing music specifically? Not necessarily creating it, but, getting other people to kind of tap into it.
What do you mean tap? Like, are you talking about them... You said distributing their own music.
Yeah, well, I mean, just working together to promote their music.
Oh,
because I don't think one person can do it. Well, I think one person can get it started, but it's like Young Dolph and PRE, right?
Yeah.
Like it was Young Dolph at first, and then he got PRE. Well, he built it, created it, and eventually it became like a.
I mean, this shit all promote. At the end of the day, this shit does take a team, and so if you do collect, work with like some collective or. Y'all gotta like see the product as it's your own equally. So I just feel like at the end of the day, that's just relationship. Like you can tell these dudes are tight. Like that you can tell their family way past the music. So they're gonna put their all into that shit. Whereas you meet somebody on the street and they're like, oh man, let's make a tape. Ooh, make the tape, man. We gotta promote it. One person promotes it hardcore, the other person doesn't. One person makes good content, other person like you can collab to. Support each other's brand and pull y'all skills together and make something that supports both of you, or are y'all trying to bank on something like a brand or like a group like PD or your Dreamville? Like those dudes they're dedicated to that, so they want to be sure that they're matching energies. Like it's almost like friendly competition, but they know when it comes down to make an album, they're gonna make the best shit. Revenge of the Dreamers, like you know what I'm saying?
Like, a lot of people, Volume 3 got a lot of people's attention. I said Revenge of the Dreamers 3.
Yeah,
got a lot of people's
That
attention.
shit was beautiful, and the way they made
I
it.
mean, even just the way they documented it
Yeah,
was.
the way they documented it, the artists that they brought out, the environment. Shit, I knew two people that worked in there, like, um, just like either engineers or like people who just like oversaw at they went to Treehouse, so that's like
That's in
major.
Atlanta, right?
Yeah, it's in Atlanta. That's major, bro. Like for them to rent that whole studio out and do that shit, it's like it was just motivational. Like everybody's tapped in on one accord. Either you're just there to be part of the process, or you were Dreamville, and you can be Dreamville affiliated, like Buddy or somebody. Buddy's cool with everybody, you know.
Yeah, I think he's definitely one of those artists too. He's super underrated as well.
Man, I love that guy.
But he's also still building and growing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, him and T-Pain, to me, they had the best album on his last album, but they didn't do a video for it. I was a little disappointed. I ain't gonna
Oh,
lie.
the Happy Hour.
Yeah, I felt
That
like
song
that
is
one was
fucking amazing.
You know, people sleep on T-Pain, but that was
or
maybe
like,
they not sleep on him, but he doesn't get as much credit as he probably deserves.
have you seen the thing about T-Pain? Him, like he makes more money as a streamer than he does with music.
He been pretty consistent with that Nappy Boy Radio, Nappy Boy game, and he be
fire.
He had Drummer Boy on there. He's been pretty consistent. Like it's interesting. Like man, so you say he's making more money as a streamer. Should people aspire to stream more so than they aspire to be a musician?
I think people should always have something else. And I hate to say it like that, but like there's making music, and then when people are gonna want to know another side of you, right? So I think like DDG, like he's an amazing streamer. Music, you know, it's up and down for me, but like I respect some songs he makes. He's not like trash or nothing, but you know,
it's hard to connect.
It's hard to connect, yeah. And so it's like
Moonwalking in Calabasas. That to me is like his best one.
That was
a good song.
That was hard, but like, I mean, but like, I think people should be comfortable in like at this rate, like stream even just your day to day here and there, at least process in the studio or while you're creating something. People want to be connected, and you never know, you might get paid off of it.
Exactly. I think that's a big thing too. Like doing it and not always expecting a payday. Man, how do you feel like and I mean maybe internet is to blame for this, but I feel like a lot of people within, you know, entertainment, music, especially artists, have like a lack of patience.
Yeah, bro. Again, a lot of people people want everything so fast now because of how they see it on the internet and social media and shit. If you're not you got to be patient in everything, especially doing music. It ain't too many people that doing music. They're doing it for 6 months, a year. When they was in that group with all the other girls.
Oh yeah. When they was outside being
ratchet, bro. I saw this one black and white video. I had to have a roommate back in like 2017, 2018. It was years ago, bro. I just know I was like, yo, that's dope. Like, shit, that's some ratchet ass shit. I like ratchet ass shit. I like Juicy J. I like all that shit from Memphis. So like that shit was cool. It was different.
It was a wave. It was different. They were being authentic.
But you see what I'm saying? That's years. Now everybody's like, oh, Glorilla. Like, no, she been doing this shit.
You can literally go to her YouTube channel and see she's the old content.
And she talked about it on an interview. I forgot who she talked about it.
The funny Marco was one of them.
You know, she's talking about how like being patient. She was like ready to like. She was like, "I'm gonna just take our time, figure it out, whoop de whoop." Like she took her time. She's years into it. If you don't have patience, I'm sorry, but you know that work ethic got to match too. So like,
yeah, I
are
definitely
you patient
think that's
with
the
the process?
One. Patient with the process, man. What would be 5 tips to artists? Even to other engineers too, to artists, engineers, producers, because you work with all of them. 5 tips that can help somebody, you know, whether it's in life or staying creative or just improving their process.
Tip 1, definitely have a hobby outside of doing music.
Damn, I always tell people that's crazy.
And I'm only saying that because you said it, and it's the reason why I'm a gamer. So like, it's a hobby outside of music. It's something that you do that has nothing to do with music. Tip number 2 would be get into some kind of physical activity, working out, walking. And I say that because I think everybody deserves 30 minutes to an hour to themselves of just physically getting your body, your heart rate up, just so you're making sure things are pumping and working. 3, meditate. And I would say meditating as being you pray or you just give yourself time to really be to yourself. Sometimes we, especially musicians, we keep a lot of shit in, and if you don't like sort those out, yes, it can translate into music. But how many artists we know that commit suicide, do all this shit? Um, this is a mental health thing. Tip number 4, I would say read. Whether it's like read a lot of whatever can help you, whatever can help your career, whatever can help you be a better human. Just read, always read some kind of material that can help you be better daily. And you said 5, right?
Yeah, 5, man.
Drink your water, bro. Stay hydrated. Um, I think all artists, a lot of people drink all kinds of shit. And when I say stay hydrated, drink stuff that keeps your body hydrated. I wouldn't say drink a lot of sodas and stuff, but balance out with more water, drinking teas, stuff that keep your body hydrated. When you drink a lot of soda, that shit is not good for you. That shit does the opposite.
Shit, alcohol, all of that.
Alcohol, all that shit. Like, slow down on the alcohol, especially you over 30. You can't get college drunk no more. Slow down. Your body,
liver might not.
your liver
might not work. Might not
work.
activate. Might just
Stay hydrated.
damn. So okay, I gotta switch it up. I gotta ask you this. I can't let you come on here and not ask you, man. Top 5 artists in Houston right now. Of course, we excluding the legends, but I'm talking about the undergrounds, the independents, the people on the rise right now.
On the rise, independence, the whole 9, right?
Yep.
Oh man, damn, that's a lot. I gotta give it out to Dende. Dende's been working his ass off. He's
hella consistent for sure.
Super phenomenal, consistent, gets better and better and better. Damn, Tobacco Ryan, fresh. That's what I always say about him for sure. I I don't get feelings of like when I hear a new artist that like the cool kids that fresh.
Yeah.
Tobacco's fresh.
Just that.
It's like it's different. It's dope. I could show it to old and new, and they'll fuck with it. Damn. I don't want to leave out nobody.
There's a lot of artists.
It's a lot, man. It's a damn lot. Tim Woods. Tim Woods is dope. He's even though
the real Tim Woods. Yeah, that's
Shout out my boy. Yeah, like bro just gets it. He makes music that's
a low key underground legend, man.
Yeah, he's like
depends on like like a I want to say alternative, but like he's somebody like who's been doing
some
it.
Of his favorite artists
are
like Kid Cudi and all that.
Yeah,
so
like he was doing it differently.
Bro's like he gets it
because now like a lot of people are like different, but he's like one of them OG like
he always different been rappers. Like that. Like he been always
that was a different wave of music
ahead of time. Yeah. Damn. I'm just trying to go through because that's 3 already. And that's like 2 spots.
Yeah,
so.
man. I mean, you got a bunch of women doing it. Like
I was gonna say, I got shout out Lily Aviana. She's dope. She's just different voice.
Definitely one of the most talented vocalists.
Writing. She got powerful songs. Like it's hard to make powerful music, and there's people who make songs and they drop consistently. But when she drops, it's like the songs she's a part of or the songs that her vocals are on. It's statements, and that's hard to do. Shit, I gotta give it another woman, Ken the Man. People don't like and say that she ain't made, she can't switch the style. That motherfucker can rap.
She definitely one of the best female rappers, one of the best women rappers.
Yeah,
in Houston for sure. Like, what do you feel like's been her? I feel like a lot of people expected maybe he'd be like to be bigger. I consider it to be a semi-big song. I know she has a. I want to say she signed.
Nah, she's independent now.
I thought she was with Asylum. Like,
yeah, I don't think that's I think that was like a little distribution thing 1 year, kind of one off. See how it goes.
What do you feel like is keeping her from? Because she has the visual content for sure. Like, what do you feel like is keeping her from hitting?
She hasn't made that world record. You know what I'm saying? You know how like Megan had the song with Beyonce,
Big Old Freak, or the Savage,
Savage. You know what I'm saying? Once Ken the Man gets to shine, her performance on like that kind of song that can hit international waters and every ear they'll hear it. But like she got it. Like she just having fun with it right now. I know she putting in work, but you can tell when they just having fun. Like cause the Not My Nigga, that shit go hard, bro. Like she really snapped, bro. And with the Trina sample, bro, like she really snapped, bro. It's well, and I've seen the growth from when she had I think it's called Kenny's Back. It was a mixtape, and my homegirl put me on back in like 2017 or something. I was like, yo, this she gonna be big, and boom, 5 years later, she's like, or 6 years later, here you are.
Yeah, she's definitely one of the top. I mean, I'm trying to think women rappers. She might be top underground women rapper in Houston.
Yeah.
Like if I think of every one of them,
If I'm thinking in Houston, I mean, there's
she
there's
top three for sure. I think she
three for
might be number
sure.
one though. I think so. Like current Houston independent underground.
I mean, you can't throw them out like where the status is too. I mean, granted, she got really dope management. I always peep her, the chick Melissa. That's her, I don't know, manager or whatever. But you can tell she's being not groomed, but she's being like led
Got it
the
the right
right
way.
way, the right
Yeah.
way, and she still can be independent. And I think that's like rare. You know what I'm saying? But honestly, like it's so much talent. The five was not like because there's many artists out here that are fucking fire. I just think those five, especially, got their own wave, and I can see it that consistently. This like
Hmm.
it's just people attaching, and I can see it in 3D, whether it's big, major, or like underground. You know,
Yeah, and anything. I mean, just impacting people in general.
yeah.
Man, I would say, what's the best studio to record out of in Houston for independent artists?
For independent artists,
A truly independent artist, are they coming out of their own pocket and why?
and people gonna might say I'm biased, but I'm gonna just say Baron Studios only because they provide now two different kind of
Experiences.
experiences. Like you want to go work with the OGs who have tapped in with pretty much everybody in Houston at least once and just been consistent 10 plus years. Like Baron Studios, man. You know, shout out to Baron. First studio, well, second studio I got to work out of, but like first one that like, I mean, that's like family. Like I haven't seen anything else like that around. And when I go around and then people like see how I work, they be like, damn man, you know what you're doing. And it's like, yo, when I got to Barron, I learned the professional way. And they taught that like they taught it in a way like this is the standard. Like if you're not working like this and treating your clients like this, why bother? Like
Yeah,
trying
what
to
you doing it for?
yeah, what are you doing it for? And like to be honest, bro, like that shit, like the internship program, stuff like that weeds out like, are you really trying to be an engineer or are you just trying to like learn the skill set? Because back then they wanted engineers. Now they throw the skill set out there and they teach people how to use Pro Tools at an efficient rate. But it's like, bro, I didn't even have to go to audio school for that. So I would say Barron, and Barron does a lot for the community. They throwing shows left and
They
right.
definitely do.
Between two trash cans or two dumpsters, like they're packing.
I didn't see that one. Damn.
Yeah, they're and it's tight because they got Vanjo. Vanjo's the photographer with Don Tolliver, by Breezy. They threw their own. Like they're linking up with promoters to like give
They're trying to create that low key, like be a part of that infrastructure for sure. I would definitely say Barons. I think I mean even just pricing, especially if you can, press record yourself. If you want to work the boards, you can really get a
bro.
insane deal.
To be
So
honest, I mean, not and this no slight because like shout out Sugar Hill, like AFOM's there, like everybody goes to him. Everybody, but a lot more people go to him. Shout out like iMix, like it's so many studios, 713, like it's so many, but like I've just never those are like standard studios that I've seen the same thing. It's like, yo, you book a room, you get the
it's
engineer,
like
you
a
don't.
business.
It's like a business, and I get it, but they make those stuff. But Baron provides like this extra like element of like you say, independent grind. Like people just be popping up, bro. Like I don't know if y'all seen like Andre Drummond took a picture in one of those studios not too long ago. Andre Drummond,
I wonder what was he working on.
yeah, but we know he does music, but like for Drummond to be there, that's so fucking dope. Like Toby Ingwe, like I've seen fucking Baby Bash up there. I've seen Bun. I like to that environment is just different. Like it makes me think of like when I go to LA and people be like walking through like Chalice, you know what I'm saying? And they're like, oh, Hit Boy's office is right here down Studio A, Studio B. Like it gives me that vibes.
I could definitely see it going there for sure. I'll say, man, I want to talk a little bit about your experience with the reading with a rapper.
Oh yeah.
You pretty much you engineered the whole project.
Well, the first one I did the engineering, the field day. I engineered and recorded every track except one with Squala. Shout out Squala, he's dope. And I mixed everything. Then Baron mastered it, and then I did the same thing with Buddy Rowe. But David Ruiz, He engineered and did some production on it, and then I mixed it, and then Baron mastered it.
So what
So
would you say? What is it like working on a project with a nonprofit versus like just working with an artist? Do you feel like there were any? Do you feel like they were more prepared? What was the benefits? Was it easier to work with because it's less people? Like, what's because it
um
was two projects. I mean, and shout out to Buddy Rowe. He's definitely doing his thing. But what's that experience like? Like, is it easier to work with an artist, like a single artist on a complete project, or to work with an entity?
um just for chaos, single person better, because entity, a bunch of stuff, it creates chaos, and like um good chaos is great. Like that's there's nothing wrong with that. But like this is when I had to have sessions like with Stoppa. Stoppa was the producer of the project, of the first project, Field Day. When they did the one with Buddy Rowe, I wasn't really in on the recording because I really wanted to focus on just mixing if they needed that. And it was perfect because David knows what he's doing. Production, all A1, got stems right. Like it made my life easy. It made me feel like that's how professional engineers would work. So the working stance would be like it was dope. It was just it was hectic on the first project, Field Day, because I was the main engineer. So I had to record everybody from Quentin Miller to um, Propane and just everybody, Jack Freeman, everybody who pulled up. Like I had to record them. So, but yeah, shout out to Reading with the Rapper. Like this, to be honest, it's like doing it for a cause was something I always wanted to do because during COVID, I got to teach kids about production, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I got paid for that. So to do something for kids that is like in the system, you know, like to teach kids, it was something I always wanted to just have on my resume. Like I had taught a class at Rice on like editing podcasts, and I had to introduce myself. And when I said I was working with Reading with the Rapper, I didn't realize how many of those students thought that was so dope. Like, what? Like, you guys are breaking down rap songs? Da, 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 da. Like, that's tight, man. I'm about to go on their website. Like,
Nah, for sure.
spark their interest, and like what they're doing is really, really fire. So I just wanted to be in some point. Those are my dogs. I went to college together. Those are my brothers, and so I definitely want to just help out. Just put my stamp on something that's gonna live on forever. You know.
Yeah, I mean, definitely be a part of greatness. So I would say, man. So number one, appreciate you pulling up. But is there anything you want people to know about you that they don't know? Even beyond the music, because we all know Kang the engineer. We know you're gonna get the audio right. But is there
Yeah.
anything you want people to know, or maybe a common misconception? Have you been getting called Kang the Conqueror,
Yeah.
like as of late?
Not as of late, but people like as soon as that movie dropped, or they knowing like people who were like Marvel nerds, like they were already hitting me with that shit.
You're
But
like, hey, you next up.
yeah, shout out to Two was gonna make this video, and we was gonna do some like cool ass concept of like Kang the Conqueror meeting me and shit. It was cool.
I mean, hey, y'all definitely should still do it.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But anything like I don't know, man. I think a lot of people take I'm not like a I'm cool, right? I'm cool collective. Everybody who knows me, I'm around. Like I don't really start shit. I'm passionate, you know what I'm saying? So one thing you gotta understand is like a lot of people take my passion as like, I don't know, forward, too forward, something like that. But you gotta understand when you like really live, breathe, and do this shit daily, and you can basically you've come from not making nothing to living off of this and still being able to do other things and use it with investments and stuff. Like y'all gotta understand I put in the time, and like I'm allowed to move like this. And if it offends you, that's just a like a I don't know, that's a you thing, because I just come off as confident in what I'm doing and confident in what I know because I'm putting in the hours to learn, be able to teach it back, and just be a source when somebody asks. So yeah, just don't take my passion for you know being too confident. Like no, I'm passionate and I'm confident enough to know like I'm learning. But if I come off and tell somebody something like this is coming from a great place, especially in music, and some people be like, oh, you don't want to just work on a bunch of projects, this and that, help me out. I'm like, no, I've done that already. I put my time in, pay me for my worth. So when those conversations happen, it's like people think I'm trying to big bro them or something. It's like, nah, like
We're trying to little bro
a
them,
little bro.
as
Oh
they
yeah, little bro.
say.
But like the thing is like, nah, man, I just put the time in, and then it speaks for itself. Like I just go down, and people speak highly of me from just being around, and they see the work, and
Nah,
you
man, the way
gotta
you be
be.
working them boards, man, like I said, I can record on Pro Tools. I can do a little something, something, but you click, 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 all the shortcuts. It is different. And I think people do need to respect it, and people got to understand that greatness ain't free.
Yeah,
Number one, like it's not free, and it costs something, and you gotta pay, build a relationship, like, and it's about respect, really. I think
yeah,
people kind of, because Deion Sanders always says like, "Don't allow my confidence to offend your insecurity," and I think a
yeah,
lot of people really can tend to get insecure when they can be around people who are hella confident, especially like when you do something. It's like I go shoot a video,
in
like
the
I know I'm
music
good at it.
space, bro.
Yeah, like
That's the one space. Like then that's why I want to let people know. Like I don't mean to say like I know everything, but like
you know a lot.
uh this reverb ain't different from this. One's a plate, one's a spring, one's a whatever. Like I know this because I've already studied this. So like don't take my suggestions or the way I say things as a I don't fuck with it. It's just like no, we can you know
You can do it a better way.
it's a better way, and the only way I know it's better is because like it
Yeah,
speaks for itself. Like people say it. Like I don't have to say anything. The records are there. The points are on the scoreboard is what I used to tell people. It's just it's there.
yeah.
Other
The
than
proof
that,
is in the pudding.
I'm cool, man. Like that's it. Like I'm a cool cat, man. I'm a Leo. I don't got no I ain't got nothing but I just like working. I like building, creating,
Stand out the way.
staying out the way,
Man, I
man.
gotta ask you then, because you touched on streaming the game, and I got this be my last question for real, for
Oh yeah,
real.
that's cool.
Man, give me? I feel like top five might be too hard, right? Give me top three video games of all time,
Oh
and
God.
then I want to know like the top three you playing right now, like
My top
yeah,
three
your
video game.
top three, because I know my top three. I might San Andreas might be very high on that list, but top three,
See, I'm an
period.
RPG adventure guy,
Like
so
since birth, like I'm talking about
since
Quest
birth, okay,
64,
yeah,
like Final
okay.
Fantasy, or like
That's what I was gonna say, cause like I'm an RPG dude. My brother played RPGs my whole life. Shout out to him. Um, Final Fantasy VII, the original on PlayStation One, is the greatest game ever made. Just
damn.
period.
I don't know about
Re-
damn. Okay,
I
okay.
mean, and again, it's because everybody's perspective. I'm an RPG
I'm gonna go
fan.
check it out because I'm pretty sure they remade
They
that one too,
remade
so
it.
y'all can get the better graphics version.
Yeah. But the Final Fantasy VII's greatest story, greatest like at that moment on PlayStation One
That's one when he
graphics.
had the thing like this.
Yeah, the Buster
Yeah, yeah,
Sword.
yeah,
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 I beat that game so many times.
yeah.
GoldenEye 007 on N64 number two.
Revolutionized multiplayer gaming.
It's just the one game that lost so many
Call of Duty
friendships.
before Call of Duty.
Call of Duty before Call of Duty, and number three might be a slight because people are gonna be like, oh, there's so many other games you could have said and whatnot. Um, Sonic Adventure 1.
Man, you take it back to the Genesis.
And the reason that game was like they took everything that Sega did on those consoles. 3D, great music, great
Rings.
the different characters you can use. Like that shit was just chef's kiss, bro. And like it's the greatest game. One of the greatest games I've ever played. So those three.
Damn, man. Okay. What are you playing right now? Give me the top three you playing right now. What
Top
RPGs you playing?
top three, I'm playing Hogwarts Legacy.
Okay.
I restarted Final Fantasy VII Remake, the one that they made, the
Yeah,
better
the better
graphics,
graphics version.
and Cyberpunk.
Hmm.
Cyberpunk is the shit. If
Yeah,
you
I
want,
need to dig into that one some more. I got it right over there. We're gonna get on that
yeah.
cyberpunk. So all right, man. Well, perfect. It's been a pleasure speaking with you today.
Already, man.
Man, we got
Appreciate you.
dropped a lot of gems. I hope y'all was paying attention because he really gave away a lot of free game. And at the end of the day, if you want somebody to make your song, bring your song to life, like really bring it to life, because some people don't understand the purpose of a quality mix. But a great engineer will take your shit to the next level. Y'all already know who to talk to.
Hit me
Easy.
up.
And we're going to put the social media up, but
Hit me
peace.
up.
I just want to thank everybody for watching this latest episode. Once again, I want to remind you, if you have comments, you want to drop suggestions or anything, please leave them in the comments below. Until we meet again, peace.